Okay. So, beta, I just wanted to conclude on that poem. Firstly, I wanted to know how much are you aware of the poem background? That is important in ICSE. We need to know everything about from where the poem or literature is being emanating. Got it, beta?
Fine, sir.
So what are the character? Firstly, let me know on. You will inform me on rather, which is the protagonist in this poem.
So Leonard Mead, the person who's walking down the street.
Okay, and he is narrating for which author or poet?
Ray Bradbury.
Ray Bradbury. Which you, if I'm not forgotten on what did you mention on inquiry, is according to you an American poet.
American poet. His highlights are horror and science fiction stories.
So he was born in the year 1920 around.
Yes, sir.
20 born an American and he grew up watching horror films. So you can feel that creepy, spooky feeling in every of his articulation. So that dominates as he comes from a background of watching inundated and umpteen numbers of spooky films, horror films. Right, India?
Yes, sir.
So that is about 1920, his birth. But he wrote in which year? Which year did he write this poem?
If
Are
he
you
was
with?
born in 1920, this poem would
Are
have
you
been written.
with? Okay, okay, good enough. I appreciate it. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. No issues.
So
Yeah.
he must be like at least 25 years old. So
Right?
1945, 1946, somewhere around that.
Very close to it. It's 1950. Good. So he wrote in the year 1950. And by the way, he was inspired by an anecdotal evidence. And this is very important. You have gone through the structure of poem and you may feel that it has got something to do with a person walking on road and being encountered by police, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this incident took place when he was walking with his friend. This is very important, Beta. When he was walking with his friend in LA, then it exactly did happen or occur to them. There was a policeman who pulled over and asked them a question on why they are walking. It has happened. It has been an evidence. I'm coming from something what is being mentioned in his biography. Okay, so he was walking with his friend, and accordingly, he was integrated by a policeman. Now, integration on what? Why was it integrated? Can you ask? Can if a person asks, fine, is it a crime? No, it is not a crime. I can walk on street, whatever the street may be in state of desertness or completely chaos. I can walk. There's nothing. So why I am being integrated? What is it?
So in the US, it's pretty common that the police pull
Integration.
over based on racism, based on color.
Okay. So based on racism, based on color is what you will deem or ascribe to this integration, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of what happened in the year of 1950? What was that era? What era
Romantic
was
era.
it? That era was romantic. I would say that is when you're coming from the poet perspective, but that was the era post World War. Are you aware of that?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hi dear. How are you doing?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Good. Okay. Good enough. So that was the era post World War II. And post World War II, the American society was very suspicious. What did they fear? It's very important. See, this incident with them took place. Them means The person,
Ray Bradbury and his friend.
Bradbury and his friend, that took place in the year 1949. And he wrote in the year 1950. Now, 1950 is the era when we are in a system which is where dystopian. Are you aware of this word, dystopian system or dystopian society?
So dystopian is
Yeah.
something related with two, right? Because die
No,
indicates
it's
two.
not related to, it's related to a feeling or a state wherein you have lost all your hopes.
Okay.
You feel that something bad is going to happen.
Okay.
Very good situation. So it was that kind of a state then, back then. It was World War, a post-World War II era. American society was mired with communist, a feeling wherein they were anti-communist. They were
Okay.
anti-communist during that era. They were fearful of Russia. If you feel a person being around, they were looked with suspicion. It happened to be somewhere other than somewhere other than from America, then they were looked down. So much so that is also being seen. The person attributed Russian spy epithet.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the massive hysteria. And this hysteria, by the way, was whipped. This hysteria was generated. You call demagogue or rebel rousers. Okay, what they do, they whip up the emotions. So this hysteria, this massive hysteria was whipped up by McCarthy. You must be known to this person, McCarthy. What is his name?
No, sir.
Oh boy. So what is being taken, by the way, Baba? This is the second time that I'm encountering. Nothing do they. Yeah, to join dots, right? Is this literature? And that's the reason I spoke to this guy, English guy. What are you doing? He said that we are in so crunch of time. We also want, I know that the love that you have will certainly go for research. But this, that, many things. I said that to at least few students you should be aware of. They being good and they require these kind of updation. This updation is not there. How will you based on literature?
So they don't dig too deep in
Exactly.
like the
This
historical background.
I have told him that at least you need to identify a few students. He said, so yeah, we will be and we'll be calling, identifying few students. The HOD chemistry. Sorry, English.
Okay.
So what happened during that era? Now this is which era I'm talking about. I'm talking of post World War II. So there was, and McCarthy was a senator, by the way. McCarthy was an American senator. Okay, he was a Republican, you know, Republican, Democratic. There are two parties, right?
Yes, sir.
Donald Trump is from which party?
Sir, could you repeat?
Donald Trump is representing which party?
Democratic, right?
What are you saying? Yeah, Republican. Democratic is Kamala Harris. Okay, election is to take place on November 7th. And they are into debates now. Are you off the touch?
Yes, sir.
Okay, should be in touch, yeah. These are important developments around you. Okay, so this Republican, the senator, used to whip up the emotion against communists. And TV came out to be a massive media, which at that time, now TV, you know, in 49, if you take the figure of around 40, I would say, what was that figure? Yeah, around 1950, it was only 9%. And less than a decade, 1959, it grew to 85%.
The people who had a TV.
Yes, yes. So the period in which he is writing, there is only 9%. So this medium was used by McCarthy to build up a sentiment which was anti-communist, anti-Russia. And that's the reason whosoever they were asked to spy among themselves, they were good spy in a way, and they were asked to inform government about any un-American development. If you see any suspicious figure, you're supposed to inform government about the person. The society per se was very kind of a suspicion, full of feeling of remorse, a feeling which doesn't connect you with other people, and a feeling wherein you are looking for any person with an eye and a radar of suspicion, not able to believe, trust completely in deficit.
So basically, somewhat like COVID time, when like
Dystopian. COVID time, there was no trust deficit, better. There was no trust
so
deficit. We
not
were willing
exactly
to.
trust deficit, but like
Uh,
you see a person coughing and you just presume that he has COVID, something
he
like
is
that.
has contracted COVID, right?
Yes, sir. Some
Yes.
small unusual movement and they perceive
Yeah,
the
and
person to be a German or a Russian spy.
you start casting aspersion on the integrity of the person.
Yes, so that's what I was trying
Basically,
to.
character assassination. You go up to the extent of character assassination. So that was the state, and TV came handy to politician of that era. This has been depicted over there because people used to rush back to TV, switch on TV, switch off their brain, their mind. This was that period wherein they were driven by TV, and he was stating of what is going to see future 2050. What was it? 53 or 52?
So
2052 or 53?
2052.
And what did he say? It'll be glued. Will you say that it has what he did have fear got realized? Can we say his fear got realized? Would you be able to comment this? Can you make this comment?
Whose fear, sir? Leonard's fear.
Yeah, the Leonard fear got realized. Can we say that?
Yes, sir, we could, but I think the better thing could be
Hmm.
that Ray Bradbury wrote this story in
Hmm.
1950.
Yeah,
And as you said, there were only 9% of the people who had a TV in their home.
correct.
But as you said, within a decade, the figure changed from 9% to 85%, which is
Correct.
like in multiples.
Correct. Leaps and bounds. Correct.
Yes, sir. So
Hmm.
Bradbury didn't have to wait till 2052 because
Mhm.
his prediction had been realized within a decade.
Yeah. And more so nowadays, if you are to say, would relate with mobile phones, small screen. So his
Yes, sir.
fear is not wrongly placed. You can't say that the fear that he did have at that time was misplaced. Rather, it's not far cry. We can see people being glued to small screen. Correct?
Yes, sir. We can say Bradbury pressed where it hurts.
Yes, the presage you call presage, or you call vision, or when you have harbinger of something wrong in coming, then we call
Yes.
it presage. We call it harbinger as well at times, just solo harbinger, or we can call it premonition. Okay, you must have heard of the word premonition, correct?
I think RDG ma'am used it once.
That is a very overplayed word when you come to FD. FD is Final Destination Series. It's a very overplayed word, premonition. Okay, so this is
Yes, sir.
something that the presage he had, and it was not far fetched. It is not far cry. We are in that situation, very much in that situation as of present, right?
Yes, sir.
So he was moving and the path and all that they talk about. Now people have retreat to their home, right? What will nature try to do? Nature will try to reclaim. Nature try to reclaim means you have got weeds, you have got plants growing by the flanking ends of the path. The pug mark, flanking the pug mark, you have plant shrubs. They are reclaiming that street, which is not being anymore into ply or which is not being anymore into touch by people. Why? Because people are reclusive in nature. They have withdrawn to their home. Correct. So the
Yes, sir.
path is not being tread is being reclaimed by nature. Right. That the seam and all that they spoke about. So much so that he stumbled as well at a place. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So what happened towards the faggot? What happened? He saw up to the point wherein he was at the cross, and at the crossroad. Doesn't matter which way you go. Why? Because there was nobody to be seen. It was so deserted. It was so cold. Right?
Yes, sir. We were at the point where he was appreciating the cold wind, the cold
Correct.
breeze, and
Yeah.
he used phrases like lights up, blazes up like a Christmas tree.
Correct. Correct. Hmm. Any further?
Sir, should I start reading?
Yeah, please do.
He listened to the faint push of his soft shoes through autumn leaves with satisfaction, a and whistled a cold, quiet whistle between his teeth, occasionally picking up a leaf as he passed,
Mhm.
examining its skeletal pattern in the infrequent lamplights as he went on, smelling its rusty smell.
So, it's self-explanatory, I would say. Nothing much over here to explain. Correct.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
there was something sneaker. That sneaker changed. So why did he change to sneaker? I think that is apparent.
So,
Even
because dogs would chase him because of the sound.
because the sound, so sneaker will not sound. Heart soul will sound. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Carry on. This
Hello
was
in there, he
this is
whispered
about
to every.
soul. Do you remember? I meant soul. In Julius Caesar, the cobbler
Ah,
said,
yes, sir. Yes,
"Yeah,
sir.
S-O-L-E, both."
Yes, sir.
Yeah, carry on.
He said, I'm a mender of souls.
Hmm.
He was a cobbler.
Soul and S-O-U-L.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello in there, he whispered to every house on every side as he moved. What's
Hmm.
up tonight on Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 9? Where are
Yeah.
the
So
cowboys?
into sarcastic mode, right? He's
Yes,
into
sir.
satire, a satirical line, which is what? Hello, he's talking to himself, but he is referring to those who are bound by their four walls. And what that being? Hello, what are you watching? What is up on channel 4, channel 7, channel 9? A review, right?
Yes, sir.
Then talk or a comedy falling from stage, something of the kind, right?
Yes, sir, because he already knows that they must be watching TV for sure.
So this is very condescending. Call it condescending tone. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Where
Carry on.
are the cowboys rushing? And do I see the United States cavalry over the next hill to the rescue?
So basically, where are they rushing? People do rush back. They want to watch TV. They want to get. They basically are glued to TV the moment they are back their place. They're rushing for TV, switching on TV and switching off their brain. Correct? Switching
Yes, sir.
on TV and switching off their brain.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So rustling, bustling, hustling being shown. These are all sound, the imagery that we are using, and we are describing it with hissing sounds. Correct?
Sir, I'll have to go, sir. Sir has arrived.
Okay, these are onomatopoeia as well, by the way. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. We'll check that. Do you remember of what being is coming from the background? It is important.
Fine, sir.
Okay, okay. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Bye. Bye. Good night.